I am not a Bitcoin MAXI, you read that right. If you want to call me an idiot, go down to the comments, write "you're an idiot" and maybe you get 10 or 20 likes on that. Very nice. But if you want to let me explain, yes, I'm not a Bitcoin MAXI, I would call myself a Bitcoin pragmatist. About 50% or even higher of my portfolio consists of Bitcoin. In my understanding, a Bitcoin maximalist has 100% of his portfolio into Bitcoin. I'm not doing that, because I think there are a lot of good projects in the crypto space that are often overlooked, but they have unique possibilities and unique use cases. And I think that's very important. In recent comments of Charles Hoskinson, he made some bonds with, for example, Sui or Polkadot, and he often rants about Bitcoin, but to be honest, he still loves Bitcoin, because without Bitcoin there wouldn't be Cardano. To explain any further, we have to keep in mind, the space is there since 15 years. Don't you think that any development has taken place in that time? But let's break it down into 3 main points. Proof of work. The proof of work consensus that Bitcoin uses is genius. In my opinion, it's a connection from the real world to the blockchain, and this is just genius. Satoshi thought about gold, I guess. So he thought, well, gold needs miners, so there is gold to go into circulation, connection between the real world and the asset itself. And Satoshi thought, well, maybe we need something like that in our new money. So he connected the digital money, the Bitcoin, to the real electricity that is used to mine the Bitcoin. It's genius. There are a lot of projects that run on proof of stake, and it makes sense with their project, but not on Bitcoin. Let's start with ETH. Ethereum was a proof of work chain in the beginning, and it switched to proof of stake. And in my opinion, it is a mistake, because the whole project was built around proof of work. And now that it is proof of stake, a lot of the project has to redistribute and they have to swap around things, and it gets more shaky and shaky each day the developers try to improve the protocol. The chain was built for proof of work. So let's imagine the celebrities and politicians that wanted Bitcoin to go proof of stake got their way, and we have a proof of stake Bitcoin. It would be horrible. The whole chain wouldn't make sense anymore. Bitcoin has to stay proof of work, because in its core that is its idea, to have a connection to the real world. Do all chains have to do that? No, of course not. Proof of stake is not bad. Cardano, for example, they are trying to solve problems, and so is Sui, so is Sei, and so is Salana, and so are all the other projects. They are trying to solve problems. They are not better than Bitcoin, they're just other projects. All the other chains and all these side chains, all the layer 2s, they try to solve problems, just like Bitcoin wants. Are they better? No. Are they worse? Some are, of course, but they have a place in the space. Let's talk about smart contracts. Let me think a bit. They're called runes, they're called Simplicity, they are called Taro. I think these are some of the protocols on Bitcoin that try to bring smart contracts to Bitcoin. But why? There's a theory. Altcoins are just a playground for Bitcoin. So if there is an altcoin that does a very good job at something, in the future its use case is implemented into the Bitcoin protocol. This is not a good idea. There were the block size wars. So after the block size wars we had Bitcoin Cash with a bigger block size, and after that we had Bitcoin Satoshi Vision with an even bigger block size. We still have a very decentralized Bitcoin, and this is awesome. But imagine all the new blocks that are created are polluted with shitty pictures of ducks and cats and dogs and snakes and I don't know, and all the other use cases, and you want to mush that all into the small blocks of Bitcoin. The transaction costs of Bitcoin, they will rise and rise and rise with that. It's just not a good idea. Let's take Salana for this example. Do I like it? Meh. It has low fees, it is incredibly fast, it is incredibly easy to work with, but it is centralized as hell. Is it better than Bitcoin? No, but it doesn't matter if it's centralized. It does what it is designed to do. And further, leave Bitcoin alone. leave its dignity, leave its status as the #1 chain, leave its status as the mothership of all cryptocurrency. It is the most serious project out there and it should stay that way. Smart contracts and NFTs in the future on Bitcoin? No, not in my opinion, but there are other chains to use them and they are designed for it to do that. So let's keep the playground in the altcoin space and leave the serious project #1, Bitcoin, alone. Third point I want to talk about is the exclusivity of the chains. Bitcoin is digital gold, digital value, and digital property. We heard a lot of this in the recent years, and I guess all of them are right. Pepe is a funny frog to gamble your money with. Both are in the same space, and does Pepe have to exist? At this point, let's look at VeChain. It is a supply chain management protocol, and it does a phenomenal job at that. And now imagine we take the protocol's idea and put it on Bitcoin. Can we? Yes, we can. But should we? Is Bitcoin made for this? I don't think so. Let's keep the exclusive use cases to the chains they were made for. Let's show the Bitcoin whitepaper. What does it read? It reads peer-to-peer electronic cash system. It doesn't read network to improve everything, everywhere, all at once. My channel reads we need new money. And I'm talking about Bitcoin. Bitcoin is the #1 idea. And if you ask me as a Bitcoin pragmatist, of course I have 50% of Bitcoin in my portfolio or even more. I want to have money in my portfolio. Bitcoin is the money. The altcoins are the economy. Bitcoin money, altcoins economy. I don't think that's hard to understand. And further, let's look at Satoshi's idea of this decentralized networks using blockchain. Why not use this idea to improve all sorts of spaces? We can improve banking with XRP, at least that's their idea. We can improve voting, maybe on Cardano. We can improve supply chains with VeChain. There are so many projects, and if you want to learn about them, you can watch my shorts. I have a list of shorts about the top 100 cryptocurrency that's constantly evolving and updating. So, my final question to all the Bitcoin maxis. Why is every other project than Bitcoin a shitcoin in your eyes? It's not fair. There are a lot of people building things, and if you have ever built anything in your life, you know how hard it is. Okay, can we vote on Bitcoin? Yes. Can we improve the supply chains on Bitcoin? Yes. Can we trade stupid pictures on Bitcoin? Yes, we can. But should we? In my opinion, no. Bitcoin has a job, and its job is to be the new world reserve currency until eternity, if you ask me.